Like a deftly cast fishing net,
Oh,
sleep pulls you out of the world and into its dark shore. The rough mesh chafes, tightening around you, it digs into your brain.
yeah, alright. Just let me sleep, will ya?
How have things been going for you out there? Helped anyone lately?
Well,
Saved anyone lately? Murdered anyone lately?
what? No.
This bastard isn't even listening to you.
Because you know you are a murderer. A disco music listening psycho killer who offs poor people. And then forgets about it.
Oh, yeah? So what? I don't care. That doesn't scare me.
Hear that? You are naive to think he's afraid of his bloodied hands. Soul brother. Oh no. I see inside his amygdala and his hippocampus. The thing he's really scared of is much, much worse than that.
What is it?
Don't tell him, sister. It's too bad.
They're right. This is their function. To keep you from it.
Why are you doing this? I just want to sleep. I can almost see the dark.
We're trying to help you. All these processes, these tortures, voices and tremors are all just distractions, flares and countermeasures to keep you from the last dream. The worst of them all.
The last dream?
The last dream will be total annihilation. Cinders peeling off the fuselage. We won't be there to help you anymore, Harry. We will be dormant. You will be naked and alone.
I don't want to anymore. I don't want to think either one of those things.
Oh, but you will. You're already going there. Slipping. How long can we keep you from the precipice? One more dream? 2 max, baby. Then it's
Her face forms in the summertime.
in hell. An ancient sadness, brother. 10,000 years later, in front of the video rental, there is a warm breath on your face again. Everything is okay again.
Everything is so okay.
It doesn't sound like it'll be okay.
Your eyelids flutter open for a moment. When you close them again, you sense the light of the room around you. You're back. In 2 seconds, the alarm will ring.
2 seconds? That's not enough for...
The last thought in your head before waking is, maybe you shouldn't have seen that stained glass window in the church.
Oh. Well, another day here in the beautiful city of Martinez. Oh, good morning, Kim.
Yes?
Can we talk?
What about me?
Tell me a secret about yourself.
No.
Come on.
Your brain sends the signal to your lips, but they refuse the order. Something is paralyzing them.
Oh.
You're pretty sure it has something to do with the lieutenant's eyebrow. The eyebrow is exercising psionic control over you. It's like you're locked down.
What's happening to me?
Something the matter, detective?
What's going on? It's like you're a puppet in his hands. The lieutenant relaxes his eyebrow, and you seem to regain control of yourself.
Never mind.
Good. Let's change the subject.
Alright, yeah, let's just go.
A row of ghostly shades facing a crumbling wall, with another 7 shades standing 10 meters from them. A single person stands on the sideline.
Kim, help me out here. Who is who in this execution?
I don't know. I don't know who died here, lined up beside that horrible wall. It could have been any of the parties involved in the revolution.
Oh.
Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives, killed by the communists at the start of the Civil War. Or it could have been the communists, put to death during the last stretch of the conflict by the coalition forces.
Remember what Trent Heidelstein said about Veld?
What if it was the Feld personnel when their assets were being seized by the revolutionaries?
Another likely scenario.
Or maybe...
You mentioned coalition forces. Could it have been them against the wall?
Yeah. It's very unlikely the coalition forces were the ones who died here. They were always the last ones against the wall. To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in this situation, it was the commandant, the superior giving the orders.
I see.
A cold sea wind blows away the figures.
Well, that was educational.
Hardcore.
Hey there.
O pasaro de agint. It flutters by your ear.
Excuse me?
It's what the Zemoyaki, the Gradian community in Revachol, call a person who never breaks under interrogation. It's an organized crime term.
Oh. Opposari di agint.
Excuse me?
She's attempting to remain calm, but the phrase made her flinch.
Yeah, I remember now. It's a Zimliaki term for someone who won't break under questioning. An organized crime term.
What do you mean?
The Silver Bird?
Alright. My father was a Zemyaki. He died years ago. He was a bad man. Not a lot of good things to say about him and what he did. He bought the family a huge house, so we got to live, at least temporarily, in a giant castle in Jamrock. And then he died.
And, what happened next?
What do you think? The competition came and took everything away. It was like in a war zone. So after his death, we had nothing left, and we were in danger. My mother had to change her name, mine too. We left it all behind.
Are you sure about that? What about this drug lab plan?
It was a stupid idea, and I'm still disappointed I came up with it.
Aren't there any local authorities who might look down on such activities?
I took that into account, of course. Coordinated the operation with the débardeurs, else they might get unhappy.
So what you're saying is Everett authorized this?
Not in person, but I let them know. You can't do anything without the fat ones getting wind. It wasn't too difficult to convince them, really. It's a good thing you ended that mess, though. I felt I was turning Dadwise into a corrupt business person. Unpleasant.
Come on, this is all fine. But you don't have anything on Everett now. That's not how these things work.
We should confront Everett about this. Maybe we can manipulate him using the information.
No, I don't think it would lead anywhere with Everard. He's just going to deny it.
Yeah.
Think so?
Have you seen Everett?
Alright, well, thank you for your time. See you later.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Hyamdal somewhere.
Alright, but do any of the books call out to me?
A twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. Your eye starts twitching.
Ah, what is it?
Your hand reaches toward a book with glossy cover art of the very muscular man from Hyamdal in chains, kneeling in front of a staircase leading to a throne. A woman sits on the throne, leering at the man.
Oh.
She's laughing at him, belittling him. Between the throne and the Hyamdala man lies a bonfire, casting shadows on the wall. The shadow of the woman's headdress looks like a pair of devil horns. The title reads, Man from Hyamdal and the Devil Woman.
Aren't all women devil women?
Especially those leering types who seem to wear nothing but an armored bikini.
Yeah.
There's also some sort of a snake lizard beast slithering around her abdomen, chest, shoulder region.
Typical.
The display rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from Hyamdal novels.
Alright. I will buy the Man from Hyamdal, the Devil Woman.
It is a bestseller for a reason.
Yep, well, could have fooled me. Thanks.
Hello, dear. It's good to see a familiar face.
Hey, I restocked the empty trap. Where's Morel?
Thank you for doing that, dear. Morel still isn't feeling well. I convinced him to stay at Gary's to get some rest. I'm afraid the cold has really gotten to him.
Huh. Well, it's probably for the best. It's awfully cold out there in those reeds.
I'm sorry, dear. You've had to drudge through them so many times. Such is field work. A young person's game, as they say.
Yeah.
Her voice is shaky. What is going on here?
So, who's gonna check the traps?
Morel will eventually, or we'll talk Gary into going back out, perhaps.
The lieutenant stares at his shoe, caked in mud. He doesn't say anything.
Hey, well, don't worry. We'll take care of it.
That really is too much, sweetie. Thank you for your dedication, but I can see you're coming down with a cough yourself.
Nonsense. Nonsense.
Fuck that cough. It's not happening.
No.
The insides of your lungs are lined with tobacco, a powerful antibacterial agent.
Oh.
You are unstoppable.
Is that right?
Very strange. Why is she not letting you do this? It's like she's given up.
Lena, what's wrong? You seem different.
Different? How?
Like you've given up on the Phasmid.
I'm in doubt, sweetie. That's all. Everyone is now and then.
You're in doubt? Doubt about what?
It's a strange feeling. I haven't really told this to anyone, but you are a police officer.
Right.
Do you ever wonder if some lovely story from your childhood is just that? A story? Or a dream?
Hunching her shoulders now. She seems even smaller than she is. Like a sad young girl.
Seeing the Insulindian Phasmid was just a story I used to tell people. I didn't really think about whether it was real or not.
But Morel told me you'd seen it. You told me you'd seen it.
Morel's so proud of it. He always tells everyone.
Are you saying you made it up?
No, at least I don't think I did, but Morel was so eager to believe my story was evidence of the Phasmid's existence, that I'm some queen of the cryptozoologists. That, And for years, his belief made me believe too.
That I am a queen, an extraordinary witness to grace.
But now, we're both getting old, and he's still working himself sick out in those reeds looking for it. But what if I was just wrong? I think I was.
The lieutenant opens his notebook, but doesn't write anything. He's hiding. These things are tough on him. Matters of love, not violence or deceit. An acorn is not the same as the tree. That requires time, diligence, and care.
And? Come on, I need something good here.
All qualities these two seem to share in abundance.
Alright, Lena, look. Wrong or not, your relationship with Morel isn't just about the phasmid.
But it is. We've spent years searching for the phasmid, hunting it together. Without it, what are we? Just another pathetic old couple. If I hadn't led him down this path, he could have a steady job lecturing at a university.
You know, this reminds you of the Pericanasian theory of love. In essence, love is a relay out of death. Generation by generation, our love remains in our progeny. Lay some of that on her.
You know, this reminds me of the Pericanesian theory of love. In essence, love is a relay out of death. It's a key to mortality.
Oh, sweetie, I don't think the Pericarnassians were thinking of people in my situation. I was a paraplegic before we met.
Oh.
He didn't know before I arrived, on our first date. If I weren't the queen of the cryptozoologists, if I didn't tell him that story...
She has to swallow to relax her throat. It's keeping her from talking.
He'd still be into you. That's not how things work.
Maybe. But then why do I not dare tell him? I've wasted enough of your time with this drama. I really must stop talking about it lest I start crying and waste more of your time. What you have to know is the Insulindian phasmid probably does not exist. Let us fools chase our ghosts. There are a million better things to do with your life.
Well, the thing is, you're not sure you made it up either.
I'm not sure of anything. Sometimes I still see it, you know. The real memory. Not the memory of the memory, but it's so hard to tell the two apart. Either way, I should go. Poor Morel is running a fever, and I need to get him home to Jamrock before we overstay our welcome with Gary.
Alright. You sure you don't need help getting to Gary's?
Oh no, thank you, but I can get there on my own. This old thing is gas-powered. And then a taxi home. It's not so bad.
Alright. Well, it's been a pleasure, ma'am.
Likewise, sweetie. Thank you for everything. Truly. Even though it turned out to be a
waste of time. A dream. A lie. A fool's hope. Say her lips moving in silence. Like that, she drives off. The gas engine putters quietly as she gets to the doors, then pushes them open. Outside, the cold, coastal wind blows.
We should go too.
Yeah. It's time to go. It's time to go hit the books. You didn't think I had forgotten about that? I bought a couple of new books here. So where do we start? Let's start with these. Let's do one board game, then one book. Let's do Suzerainty.
In your hands, you hold a brand new copy of the game, Suzerainty. It's snugly wrapped in a skin of plastic. The cover features a charming illustration depicting a mass of grinning laborers loading goods onto a ship, while a richly dressed administrator oversees their work.
Alright.
The exact location and time period are left deliberately vague, but it's clearly meant to represent the economic relationship between the Revacholian suzerainty and its many vassals.
I will remove the plastic wrap.
The plastic wrap rips off as easily as a bodice in a tawdry historical romance.
Ooh. I will open the box.
There's a hiss as the lid slides off.
Ooh.
Inside, you find a thick, full-color rulebook and more than a dozen pouches of various wooden components. Savor that new board game smell. A mix of wood, paper, and ink, all wrapped in the sweet must of cardboard.
Yeah. That's what this is all about. I will examine the components.
You open up a number of pouches containing wooden tokens. There are also several punch boards with other cardboard components that will need to be punched out before you can play.
Alright, let's punch them out, one by one.
Each cardboard token makes a satisfying as you pop it out. Soon, a neat pile of cardboard coins and counters has accumulated before you.
Nice.
What? You're not going to offer to let me punch any of them out?
No. I will check out the wooden tokens.
In addition to the worker and building tokens used by each player, there are also several piles of colorful resource tokens, each representing one of the game's 4 principal resources. From the Empire of Safre, orange apricot tokens. From Ilmarat, the ancestral name of Ilmara, grey marble block tokens. From the Seminine Islands, white sacks of sugar tokens. And from Supra Muindi and Sarah Maritza, magenta tokens for unprocessed cocaine leaves.
Oh.
Oh, those are nice.
Yeah. Let's put them away.
You hold the open game box before you.
I will read the rulebook.
Welcome to Suzerainty, a game of economic strategy for the whole family. The rulebook is sumptuously illustrated and thick as a Gradian novel. The instructions are opaque at first and introduce many concepts you're not familiar with. Fortunately, there are many diagrams and examples throughout.
Alright.
You soon figure out the basic conceit. Each player represents an administrator for the suzerain of Revachol. Your objective is to increase the suzerain's wealth and renown by accumulating victory points.
And how do you accumulate victory points?
That's where the suzerain's vassals come in. The game features 4 vassal nations, each one home to an economically important resource. Each turn, the player collects resources from vassals where they've placed workers. They may then rearrange their workers, fulfill contracts for coin and bonuses, or build structures back in Revachol. As you leaf through the pages, your eye catches on a sidebar labeled Advice for Beginners.
Alright. I'm a beginner. I'm not too proud to admit it, but I'm a beginner. I'll read the advice.
Remember, there are many paths to victory in suzerainty, but successful players will find one strategy and commit to it wholeheartedly.
Oh.
Boring, boring, boring. Tear up this rulebook and commit some old-school atrocities.
So how's the winner determined?
The actual scoring system appears infinitely complex, with a series of tables and appendices required to compute each player's final victory point total. You skip that part for now.
Alright, fair enough. Hey, Kim, you want to play?
The lieutenant looks over the rulebook before he sees something that makes his eyes go wide.
Holy shit. The average playing time for this game is 1 to 6 hours. I'm not sure we can afford to set aside that kind of time for a game.
Come on, Kim.
What is detective work if not an elaborate game? You need logical inference, attention to detail, The ability to analyze your opponent's motives.
Come on, Kim. It might help us think of more creative solutions to the case.
I do feel like my thinking has become somewhat rigid. Maybe a little diversion to keep the mind limber is just what's in order.
Exactly.
See? He's doing the hard work himself. All he needed was a little nudge.
Alright, you've convinced me. How do we play?
Yeah, I read the rules already. Let me show you.
You explain the basic setup procedures to the lieutenant, who seems to be a quick study. You each take your bag of tokens and counters and unfold the board between you. In the center is the crown of Revachol. Radiating outward are her colorful vessels, each one supplying some raw material desired by the suzerain. Apricots from Safre, archaeological treasures from Ilmarat, sugars from the Seminine Islands, and magenta cocaine from Supra Muindi and Sarah Maritza. There's also a neat little log to keep track of your progress, in case you need to put the game away and return to it later. The lieutenant goes first. He draws a contract card and moves several of his workers to the Safre territory of the board, and the others to the Seminine Islands.
Alright, detective, your turn.
You have a few options available to you. Will you try to fulfill contracts right away, or rearrange your workers to maximize production on future turns? Remember what the rulebook said. You'll want to choose a strategy early on and stay committed to it.
No, I'm not gonna be pushy. I'm a lenient, understanding leader. I will let my workers rest for a while.
What? It's the very beginning of the game. Your workers haven't even done any work yet.
Alright, well, make them work a little, but not too much.
That's more like it. You produce a handful of archaeological treasures and a smattering of other resources. Meanwhile, the lieutenant spends 2 of his sugar and 1 of his apricot tokens to complete his contract card. He is rewarded with 4 coins and a round wooden token that he places in the center of the board.
That's a market. It's worth 2 victory points.
The lieutenant returns your baleful look with a satisfied grin. Come on, is that your game face? You're practically broadcasting your position to the lieutenant with that expression. Glancing over the board, you see several possible strategies. Pressing more workers into service would increase your economic output and help you to survive a possible conflict with the lieutenant. Or you could ignore your labor supply and focus on fulfilling contracts for points and resources. Those aren't your only options.
Oh?
You could also show your workers how much you appreciate them by investing some of that wealth in them. After all, they're the ones producing wealth for the suzerain. Well, sure, you can do that. It's just not a terribly effective strategy, but then it's up to you.
Alright, sure, why not?
To the lieutenant's puzzlement, you spend several turns building various improvements to your territorial infrastructure. Soon, your workers have access to clean water, paved roads, and basic hobbies. In return, they produce 1 extra resource per turn.
I will gaze on my workers like a benevolent parent.
Too bad investing in your workers just isn't worth many points.
What do you mean?
Take a look at the scoring tables in the back. You see in Table 8C that investing in territorial infrastructure multiplies your final victory point total by 1, which is to say not at all. Whereas erecting monuments in Revachol gives you a multiplier of 5.
Oh. So you're saying the values of the ruling class are completely divorced from the well-being of the people who generate their wealth?
Yes, precisely.
I see.
Now it's the lieutenant's turn to respond. he moves aggressively onto the Safre territory. Soon, his workers are producing a steady supply of extremely valuable apricots. How can you let the lieutenant dominate you like that? You need to hit back, and hard. For several turns, you struggle to respond to the lieutenant's burgeoning apricot empire. Eventually, you relocate the majority of your workers to Supremawindi and Saramaritsa, where they begin producing a bumper crop of cocaine tokens.
Nice.
You draw a new contract card. According to the text, there's an aristocrat willing to trade a large supply of cocaine for a number of coins and access to a rare bonus. Amplified music worth 7 victory points. Oh yeah, baby. Cocaine and rock music go together like cocaine and rock music. You know, this isn't unlike the situation the historical Revacholian suzerainty faced in Safre in the middle of the last century.
Oh, really? Tell me more.
Well, the suzerain was looking for new markets for all the cocaine it was producing, and it settled on Safre.
Uh-huh.
By introducing cocaine into Safre under exclusive contract, the suzerain created an extremely valuable captive market for an extremely addictive product.
Damn, man. That's fucked up.
If you could somehow get the lieutenant's workers addicted to your cocaine, you could not only make them less productive, you would also force the lieutenant to pay you for your cocaine tokens each turn.
Can you even do that?
Yes, you can. It's right there in the rules.
Really?
You've reached a critical strategic juncture. How do you respond to the lieutenant's aggression?
Sorry about this, Kim. You're not gonna like this.
With each passing turn, you slowly bleed the lieutenant of coins as his own workers become less productive and more dependent on your magenta cocaine tokens.
It's nothing personal, it's just business.
As a matter of historical fact, this is almost exactly what happened in Safre. To this day, fully half of the former Safre Empire remains dependent on international aid in exchange for a steady supply of cheap produce.
Hey, isn't this what they did in the apricot suzerainty in real life?
More or less.
Realizing victory is slipping away, the lieutenant launches a desperate gambit. Protectionism. By erecting tariffs on your cocaine, he hopes to starve you out of the market at the risk of incurring the suzerain's disfavor. The end game is upon you. Do you escalate the trade war with the lieutenant in hopes of crushing him with your economic might? Or do you ignore his aggression and focus on building the mighty victory column structure in Revachol herself? Alternatively, you could throw the whole game away by trying to build a public education system for the children of your workers. The choice is yours.
Alright, for almighty Revachol.
Building the ultimate structure requires diligent economic planning, which you completely fail to do. Rather than build a glorious monument to Revachol's economic superiority, you have to settle for a handful of post offices and school for the blind.
Well, I mean, that's not bad. I mean...
A risky gambit, detective. Sorry it didn't pay off.
Damn, man. Guess I should have gone with a more consistent strategy.
That might have helped, yes. Now, let's tally up the scores, shall we?
Computing the final scores is almost a game unto itself. You each spend an inordinate amount of time making stacks of coins, consulting tables, and struggling with basic addition and multiplication.
Come on, come on.
After double, then triple checking your maths, you have your final score. 15 victory points. The suzerain will not be impressed.
Ooh, that's not a lot, is it?
I've got 26 points.
Ah.
Don't be glum, detective. There's always next time. Figuratively, I mean. There's no way we have time to play this game again. Now, let's clean up and get back to work.
You hold the open game box before you.
I'll put it away. Damn, man. That sucks.
Medicinal purposes of the Pale. The cover of this heavy tome features a number of esoteric symbols.
I will open the book.
Flipping through the book, you find a number of sections on the general benefits of the Pale. A large pharmacopoeia makes up nearly half of the book.
And what's a pharmacopoeia?
You come across the following explanation. While modern pharmacopoeia are continually updated by so-called experts based on the results of clinical trials, readers will find assembled here the timeless wisdom relied upon by generations of traditional Seolite medicine practitioners, Mesk mystics, and Ilmaran folk doctors. It's all quackery, in other words. Finally, something to calm the angry spirits that have been plaguing you. It seems to contain descriptions of the medicinal properties of various ingredients that may be gathered from the Pale, as well as instructions for producing a variety of herbal remedies.
Anything about curing an apocalyptic hangover?
There's nothing in here that speaks to hangovers directly. However, while browsing through the various descriptions, you become convinced that you could assemble something from the ingredients listed here.
Oh.
Want to give it a shot?
Well. Alright, book. Let's see what you got.
First, you need to choose a base ingredient.
A sprig of fresh mint.
Next, you'll need to combine the base ingredient with an appropriate vehicle.
I will mash it into a paste with some aloe vera extract.
Lastly, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Some wild ginseng root.
The mint and aloe vera make this poultice ideal for soothing inflammation and minor burns. It won't do anything for your hangover, though.
Oh.
Be that as it may, it might have been useful to have such a thing for the trials you'll soon be facing. It's a shame you can't get your hands on these ingredients.
Yeah.
Would you like to try again?
Sure, let's try it again.
Very well. First, choose a base ingredient.
Ginger.
Next, you'll need to combine the base ingredient with an appropriate vehicle.
A tea made from birch bark.
Lastly, is there anything else you'd like to add?
A spoonful of sugar.
The ginger root will help with the nausea, and the birch bark tea will help you flush out the toxins. The ginseng should give you more energy, as a nice bonus.
I mean, I added sugar, not ginseng, but sure. Great. So, where can I get all this stuff?
From the Pale, of course. Or perhaps from some enterprising entrepreneur, where you would find one of those, though. The book does not say.
Oh. Alright then. Let me open the book again.
Flipping through the book, you find a number of sections on the general benefits. You come across it's all final. It seems to contain descriptions of the medicinal properties of various ingredients that may be gathered from the Pale, as well as instructions for producing a variety of herbal remedies.
Hey, is there anything in there about restoring lost memories?
There are a number of Seolite tonics that promise to improve your short-term memory, but nothing that speaks to your condition.
Alright.
The tome seems to get... Flipping through the book, you find a number of sections on the general benefits of the Pale. A large pharmacopoeia makes up nearly half of the book.
I think I just want some general health advice.
Have you taken any walks through the Pale recently?
I don't even know what this pale thing is. How could I have walked through it?
The book is frustratingly vague on this topic, but it seems that if you've walked through the Pale, you would know it. Flipping through the book, you find... Have you taken any walks through the Pale recently?
Maybe.
And on your walks, do you stop to meditate on the nature of your being?
Not really.
You need to do that. It's important for opening up your agiogenous zones.
And what's an agiogenous zone?
They're a series of psychic nodes located throughout your body. Unfortunately, the stresses of modern life often cause us to close off our archaeogenous zones, which can result in all manner of physical and psychic ailments. Regular meditation in the Pale, however, can help to open up these zones, permitting the free flow of psychic energy throughout the body.
That's just ridiculous.
You close the book and find yourself staring at the familiar cover once more.
Alright, I'm not gonna find anything useful in here. Let's read The Man from Helmdall and the Devil Woman.
The edges of the pages are worn and smudged. A lot of people have read about the Devil Woman's altercations with the Helmdall man.
I will look at the back cover.
The jacket copy proclaims, "Man from Helmdall returns in his most exciting adventure yet. After crashing into a strange jungle, cannibalistic natives abduct his only surviving comrade, Noble Tyribald. Before Man from Helmdall can mount a rescue, he is ambushed by a tribe of female warriors and taken to the ancient citadel of Cloud City, where a mysterious and wicked queen rules supreme. Will Man from Helmdall be able to escape his dire situation and find his missing friend?"
Alright. It's time to flip through the book.
You open the book to a random page. Man from Helmdall, wielding his two Zweihanders, is carving through a sea of savages, his visage fixed in grim determination. His arms, whirling like windmills, are soaked with the blood of his enemies. Mangled corpses litter the battlefield. Good God, this is some retrograde stuff. When was this shit written? You flip to the copyright page. This book was written in 38.
Alright, let's give it a chance.
Berserker rage burns in his azure-hued eyes as he brings glory and honor to his long-lost Helmdaller tribe. From the village of Helmdall, the ivory giant roars like an ice bear, and the winds of Gatla howl out his name.
Anything else?
Man from Helmdall rides on a gilded griffin, his golden mane billowing in the breeze. Both Zweihanders sheathed on his back. He is off to war. Will he conquer his enemies? Will he conquer himself?
Onward!
The steel muscles of Man from Helmdall gleam in the humid jungle air.
Ooh.
Yet the man does not sweat. In meditation, his soul drifts in the frigid northlands he calls home.
Holy shit, this is so me.
A passage reads, "The man from Helmdall looks up, his eyes blue as the mountain lakes of his homeland. He rarely speaks, but now his voice booms in the darkened throne room. Do not try to sap my masculine essence, wicked temptress. Son of Helmdall will never succumb to your seductive wiles. Thine spells are no match for purity and strength of will. Brothers of Helmdall, stand above the vices of flesh, for it is weak and corruptible, yet mine is forged in gore and strife." Queen Lydiana just laughs, a sultry and salacious sound, then says, "I have grand plans for you, Man from Helmdall." She gestures her diabolical hand toward an array of potions and unguents. "First, you shall please me. Then lead my armies against the vicious cannibals. Not a muscle moves in the face of the Man from Helmdall. Yet inside, there is turmoil. This goes against all he holds sacrosanct."
Epic.
In the final pages, Man from Helmdall mounts Galavarin, his mighty griffin, and turns his gaze to the horizon. Queen Lydiana is dead, but an army of cannibals is storming the gates, and still there's no word of trusty Tyribald. To find out what happens next, you'll have to pick up Man from Helmdall and the Three-Eyed Skull, available in fine bookstores everywhere. Spring 39.
Oh man, that's it? Well, there you go. That's a shame. I wanted to know more. Alright, here we go.
Large letters on the front form a title, Wirral. The colorful box is illustrated with bucolic vistas, The cover art also features odd-looking humanoids, some short, some taller, some with pointy ears, others with ephemeral wings.
I will examine the box.
Text underneath the title in smaller typeface reads, 3rd edition, Mega Setting Supplements Module. The side panel adds a sword and sorcery adventure board game with new maps and miniatures.
I will look at the back.
A blurb on the back reads, tired of the tedium and toil of modern life?
Yes.
Escape to Wirral. Leave behind Isolas and nations with their petty squabbles. Discard electricity, magnets, and boring technological widgets. Succumb to a world of high pasternal fantastique. Unleash your imagination and create an adventure of endless possibilities. Discover the terrible secret threatening Wirral. Can your band of adventurers save the world?
Yes, we're ready to take on this challenge.
Exactly. That's the spirit. All you have to do is read an intricate rulebook, study an assortment of maps, unfold the illustrated game board, and start rolling dice.
Sure.
In no time, you could be romping through grasslands with low-level characters, hunted by Iskala riders, or battling unspeakable monsters in endless dungeons fraught with danger and despair, conjuring up forceful magics to aid your quest.
Forceful what now?
Don't forget heated arguments escalating to physical confrontation with your friends.
Can't forget about those.
And beer. Lots of beer.
Well, we'll try to tone that down.
And most importantly, never forget to rage quit if the dice don't go your way.
Alright. I'm very excited. Let's open the box.
You pry open the box. Inside you find a folded up map, a small booklet, a 24-sided die, and a little plastic figurine.
I will look at the map.
A reprint of a crude hand-drawn map. The top left corner reads, Lands of Wirral. The map features both small villages and mid-sized towns with odd names, in addition to meadows, forests, hills, lakes and seas, also with odd names. It doesn't seem to correspond with anything you've seen thus far. It's not a very helpful map.
I will look at the die.
It's made from some sort of wood and has been decorated with peculiar plant motifs. You don't know much about dice, but this one looks pretty damn fancy.
Alright, I'll take the die.
You place the die into your pocket. It's always good to have luck on your side.
Sure. I will look at the figurine.
You see a man in ragged clothes wearing a lopsided hat and wielding some sort of a firearm.
Oh.
Huh. Interesting. A communard.
A what?
A communard. One of the leftist revolutionaries in the anti-centennial revolution.
Oh. And what's so interesting about a communard?
The figurine is not a part of the real game setting. I guess someone misplaced it during the packaging process.
Oh. Maybe someone should make a role-playing game set during the revolution.
Good luck finding people who'd want to play as communard.
I will take the figurine.
You pick the figurine up by the base to meet your gaze. The little plastic man stares back at you, his face contorted into a disturbing shout. Then you pocket it.
I will look at the booklet.
A quick guide to the magical races of Wirral. Create your own hero, choosing from any of these completely unique and fantastical backgrounds. The options are in order of importance. The Welkin, the Tueorg, the humans, the fairy folk, and the pygmies.
Huh. Sounds about right. I will read about the Welkin.
The Welkin, tall, lithe, and graceful, with long flowing hair and pointy ears. They're known for being powerful magic users, but can also hold their own in a brawn-driven fight. The Welkin come with a variety of exciting sub-races. High Welkin, Forest Welkin, Lake Welkin, and Snow Welkin. But if you're not feeling experimental, A basic welkin will always do.
Sure. I will read about the Diorger.
A grand race of industrious mountain people. They're short, stout, and muscular, and enjoy digging for gold and other precious minerals. They're also well versed in the art of combat, where they prefer to use axes and hammers.
Uh-huh.
The Tweog also come in a few different sub-races. Hill Tweog, Shield Tweog, and Dark Tweog.
I will read about the humans.
They're just humans. What else is there to tell? They're average in all stats, and jacks of all trades.
Don't they come in different sub-races? No? Alright, fine. Let's skip over and read about the fairy folk.
A very small race of flying people, known for being mischievous, full of trickery. They often lure people into their magical traps. There are no sub-races for the fairies.
Alright, I will read about the pygmies.
The least popular of the Wirral races, the pygmies, are short, rotund, and dim-witted. Pygmies live in small villages made of shoddy wooden dwellings. They spend most of their days tilling the earth and smoking their pipes. There are no sub-races for the pygmies.
Alright, fascinating. I will close the box.
A colorful box with the title, Wirral, in bold letters. It's a board game.
Uh-huh. I'll put the board game away, I guess. Yeah, this does feel different. Standard world die. Made of East Seminoese snakewood and embellished with plant motifs. It reminds me of Plain and Hill Welkins. Look at the map tab in your journal to see what white checks have opened. From the looks of it, none. No, these are all old white checks that were open a long time ago. Didn't open shit. But, you know, thanks for, you know, getting my hopes up. Not a real dick move or anything, you know. It's fine. I'm not hurt. Why would I be? Alright. Detective, if you'll follow me. I don't know if Klaasje is up there yet or not. She should be, but sometimes she isn't. Hold on. Now we know that this window's
This
replaced.
window is pristine on the inside.
Looks like it, yeah.
Okay. Can't make the connection, I guess. And the shot came from the person who shot the mercenary was hiding in this pinball warehouse factory thing. So the hole wasn't a peephole; it was a bullet hole.
It's always good to see you.
Something in her demeanor has changed. She's tired, consigned to her fate, to being here with you and what's to come.
Alright, so can you tell me more about Lely, the hanged man? My partner needs to hear this.
Lely? That was his name?
As I already told your partner, I didn't actually know his name. I just called him Lely. It's short for Lelystad, where he came from.
Right, you said it was his army name.
Yes. He said his real name wasn't his. I tried to pry it out of him, but he never gave it up. No matter how hard I tried.
Lelystad. That's a good start. We have a few questions you can help us with. A few things a field autopsy alone can't answer.
The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant passed to you. On it is a list of autopsy observations recorded neatly in blue ink. The last missing pieces of a puzzle of flesh.
So, how old would you say he was, miss?
He was 42.
42? Are you sure? I would have had him above 50.
He had many scars that made him appear older. But no. We even celebrated his birthday, like, some weeks ago.
Oh.
It was a funny 2 days. He had little reason to lie to me.
We were slightly off then. Thank you for clearing it up.
Alright, sure, yeah.
The adversary one.
His eye color?
Blue. Light blue. They were like little blue galaxies, you know? It was strange, seeing those eyes in his fucked up face.
Uh-huh.
Pardon the swearing. I do him an injustice. He wasn't ugly. And he had a beautiful, soft voice. Very surprising, what with all the scarring. It was quite something, watching him speak.
He had a combat wound on his chin and mouth.
Yes. Severe. It made him look like half his face was cracking away in some strange smile. That and those eyes.
Ah, yes. His hair, if you can remember.
It was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine, made oily. Not nice to stroke. I couldn't convince him to leave it alone.
You also had a tattoo. What did it mean?
Oh, that.
It's clear she liked it.
You liked it?
Quite a lot, yes.
Was it a map of his service history?
Sure, service history. It was mostly for showing off to chicks, though.
For showing off to chicks. How so?
How? Imagine him lying in bed. Freakish musculature laid out on the sheets. Scarred, of course. Tattooed. The sheets are dirty for some reason. He's smoking and drinking, of course. And his chest and shoulders and arms are studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them. Maybe even thousands. And the woman goes like, "What was this, baby?" And he says, "That was too hardcore. Don't ask me about that." So she goes, "Okay, but what's this, baby?" And he's like, "Saw some bat shit there. Killed some loincloths." And so it goes. Star after star, port after port, third world country after third world country. And he's done horrible things in every single one of them.
Oh. And so you were the woman in this?
Oh, yeah.
Well, can you tell us precisely what these mean?
No, thank you. I've seen enough of him dead. I can tell you what they meant without looking at them.
Oh. Alright.
Go on.
He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms, from a small town. He was also poor, and the government of Oranje needed some people killed, so they turned him into a grotesque killer. For money. He went to Killer Academy in Vredefort. Then he killed some people in the Semenine Islands. And on other islands, too. All of the islands. After this, he came to Revachol and got killed himself.
I see. Well, thank you for clearing that up.
Change of topic, perhaps?
Sure. So where is this Lelystad? The place, I mean.
In Oranje, officer. It's, I think municipality is the term. A nowhere town there.
The Lelystad municipality has few boroughs and even fewer cities. It's made of agricultural plots near the border of Gottwald. Executive summary: cows, silos, and wheat.
I see.
Oranje? Oranje's map of waterways? This fits with his tattoo.
You were almost right, officer. That means his race was occidental, not mondial. I'll update the form.
Ah. So, you were both from Oranje?
Yes. We were compatriots.
Did that bring you together?
No. He was too old for that. And from another part of Oranjenrijk. I didn't even understand his accent. What brought us together wasn't Oranje. It was bad habits.
Sex, alcohol, no love for Mother Oranje. But wasn't he a soldier? This could be worth pursuing.
Interesting. A military man, but not a patriot.
No. He left the National Service after they taught him to do what he did on Semenine. He wasn't the flag-waving kind. He was the making money, killing people kind. He was by no means a stupid man. A people person. A small platoon leader. Certainly not a patriot.
And you don't seem like much of a patriot yourself.
Mm-hmm. There is nothing on Muindi. The old world is dead, and we both knew it. Maybe Orania did bring us together. In loathing. I love Revachol, though. I hope she loves me, too.
Well, I think we're finished with this line of questioning.
All right. Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself more coffee.
So, the Hardy Boys told us what really happened.
I understand.
Just like that. No resistance. Her shoulders are slouched, her feet long and straight.
You don't look surprised. Almost like you were expecting this.
I knew there was a chance you'd get them to tell you. It's what you do. You're the police. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for wasting your time.
This is good. Clear the air first, between you two. Then move on to questions. No, it's not good. It's the opposite of that. This will let her dictate the terms of your... Shush, I can't hear what she's saying. Let the miss speak. She's tall and thin and tired. A twig trying so hard not to break.
If you knew we would find out eventually, why did you waste our time?
Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me. Out of the shit I'd gotten into.
I'm afraid that's still not a good enough reason.
You're right. There's more.
There's more?
You answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern.
Briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea, as she's done time and time again. A grand expanse of water reaches over the bay and to the horizon, golden grey in the noonlight.
Oh, and what lies beyond it?
The Pearl, the Muindi Isola, the Occident, and then Oranje, the old world.
So is that why you're looking over your shoulder? You're afraid of the moral intern?
You share a database with them. You send people to their courts.
What's going on? What did you do?
Just business. But bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me. They will...
What happens if they do?
They will kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill, well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me.
Here we go. For once, you seem to have her off guard.
What happened here? The night he died?
We were there. Together. In bed, I mean.
Uh-huh. Tell me exactly what happened.
Okay. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him.
Oh.
I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass.
I'm already confused. He's entering you. He's kneeling. But you were on your... Oh, on your back, not on... never mind, go on.
I turned back to him.
Yeah.
His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open. Dumb. I could see. I could...
A great pain moves through her, a dark and indefinite wave. She continues in spite of it.
I knew he was dead. Before he fell down on top of me.
And then what happened?
He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs. I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one. It never came.
She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butt has burned right down to her fingernails.
Your cigarette, miss.
Oh,
Well, I'm sorry that this happened to you.
so am I.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible.
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight.
It's okay. Were you inebriated?
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking.
Wait. Titus said she was gurning her jaw off, much more than usual.
Well, when we spoke to Titus, he said that you looked pretty high.
Oh, yeah. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head.
I see.
Good thinking. Clear your head. You should clear your head. Get into his mindset.
No, I'm alright.
Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this?
No,
What did you do then?
nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot, just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore, so I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there.
And when it happened, did you hear a gunshot?
When he was shot? I may have. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding.
Oh.
The gunshot wasn't that loud. This is something to keep in mind when assessing the distance of the shot.
I see. So, alright, what happened after you ran downstairs?
Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time.
Who?
I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong.
Ruby?
Ruby?
Ruby. You know, the leader.
The leader? Of what?
The Hardy Boys.
I thought Hardy was the leader of the Hardy Boys.
Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of. She's the organizer.
Would you say she is the 8th Hardy Boy?
Why not?
I see. Alright, let's go on. What then?
Well, Ruby said let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright.
To mislead you, they were tampering with the body.
To produce lividity, matching a hanging?
Yes.
We completely missed the tampering. Looks like you got there in time. What was this, 20 minutes after death?
About 20, yes. Ruby explained it would make the blood... You know what he does.
Alright, and then what did he do?
Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. His armor, too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do. Make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would.
And what did he do while they were hanging him?
Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while. That we should lay low or something. So I did.
I see. So this Ruby, where is this Ruby now?
I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
We will need to take this question to the Hardy Boys.
Interesting. Why did this Ruby go through so much trouble to hide something someone else did? Look into this later. What are you doing? Coming up with a theory. She said Ruby knew something was wrong before she said anything. How come? It was loud downstairs. She couldn't have heard the shot. It is ominous. You already coming up with theories that put the blame on someone other than Klaasje.
So why did you call the cops if you're hiding?
Because I'm an idiot.
Which is an indicator of truth. Idiot. She's nothing of the sort.
So you would have us believe, but you're not.
You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting. And then they picked his clothes off, and that little fucker threw stones at him.
Her jaw is clenched. Her throat moves. It takes all her strength not to cave in and sob. Once. Just one time.
He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud. Thud. So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Ravishol.
She definitely called the cops. That was task complete. It could not have been a lie. That is impossible. Oh God, that was a lie too. Who made the call then? She did, of course. Don't be paranoid, man. It's unbecoming of a police officer, and it makes you sweat.
So what did you do to have these people after you?
It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Ravishol, or even in Oranje.
Right?
What exactly did you do?
Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again, with a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting.
I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you.
The job was Lou's County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Lou Scop conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them. As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too, along with Lou Scop and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive.
Laws cap. These people engineer financial disasters in second world countries. The conglomerate also includes the Bank of Consecration, Airberg, and the popular Papalolo line of dairy products.
That's a lot of shit you've gotten yourself into.
It is. Many people lost their jobs. Not just C-suite. Ordinary people. What I did to get to accounting, a lot of people got hurt. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder.
So, could the people after you have killed him?
That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break.
And?
I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone so they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me.
But maybe it did.
I just don't know. I don't know anything.
We can't go after Loose Cap. Not yet. There are other, saner leads.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. If there's one thing I know, it's that you'll get nothing from there.
When was the window changed?
Last week. Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care of it.
You should have another look at that window after this. Reconstruct the scene. It's right there.
What, you mean in her bedroom? Inside?
Yes, you see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye.
Alright, well, I think we're done here. For now.
She nods, silently. She doesn't even smoke. Just picks up the cold coffee and holds it in her hands. He's thinking, are we done here? Or should we arrest her? She's a flight risk and she lied to you. She should be taken into custody. No, that won't be necessary. Just leave her alone. She's been through enough. She doesn't need this police brutality. This guy won't budge. You have to wake Multiface up, forcefully, if you want to continue pushing her.
Alright, sure. Let's go for it.
Who? What? Dear God, you've been lied to. She could have killed her lover and lied to everyone. She's not candid at all. She's smoke and mirrors and will-o-wisps. She probably didn't give you her real name either. Why would she? Arrest her immediately, before she further entangles you in her web of lies. Take it easy. Don't overcompensate with this course correction. Ask questions first. Yes, start at the top. Choose at the bottom. It's how we've always done it. No rush. See?
You know, I think you didn't make that call to the station.
I did. What is this? I called your desk or whatever it is. The numbers are all over town. Call 8-100-2 for emergencies. There was an older woman on the other end. It sounded like she was smoking. She took my complaint. She coughed.
That is the emergencies desk number. Anyone could know that, sire, by looking around and calling the desk. I don't believe a single word she says.
What time did you make the call?
Thursday night. It was late, sometime after 12.
It checks out.
Anyone could know the number, and that someone coughed. It means nothing.
But I know the time of the call, too. I know I have not been 100% truthful with you, officers. But I am now.
Why is she so angry then, if she's so sorry?
I know you didn't make the call.
I did.
Very good, sire. She will never admit to it, but we can see that she didn't.
Your real name isn't Klaasje Amandou.
I agree. You wouldn't give us your real name, not when people are after you.
Okay.
Okay, what?
Okay, it's not.
So you admit to it?
You log your work every week. It's all transmitted to Common, sir. I couldn't just beg you not to enter my name. So I lied. Like I lied before. Like I did at LCSB. I have to lie all the time. I'm so tired of it.
She's not lying now. She really is very tired. Her metabolism is failing her. The afterglow of whatever narcotics she's been taking is wearing off.
Alright. Tell me your real name.
It's Katarzyna Elysium.
It's a Grad name, Jimsk or Yugo-Grad in origin. Not Occidental at all. Smells of motor oil, tiger, economic desolation, and rock music infused alcoholism.
Hold on. Katarzyna Alase. It's not even an Oranese name. Is it? It's not even Mundi. It's Grand.
My parents were Zemsk immigrants, but I'm nationalized Oranese. All I remember is Oranje. Elysium is my father's name.
Well, I'll just keep calling you Klaasje.
That's cool.
Enough.
She nods, her back straight, ready for whatever is next. Ready for the damage. She knows you're grilling her.
So, Kim, why have we not arrested her yet?
There may be grounds here. At least for an extended detention.
A little whimper. The young woman hears you. She's looking around.
What if I told you you're under arrest, Klaasje?
Klaasje. It was my first real boyfriend who gave me that name. He never recovered from the shit we went through. Because of me.
Who was he?
He was a writer. He made Orenis lit. And I destroyed him. I know I'm shit. I know. But I haven't done anything. At least nothing illegal.
She purposefully misrepresented information crucial to the case. Fucking mind games. Enough. That's right, gang. Stern and merciless now. Stern and merciless as we reel her in.
You misrepresented information about the case. Without the Hardy's confession, we'd know nothing.
The lieutenant produces a pair of handcuffs.
Please no.
But there's nowhere to go. A 2-story drop to the Plaza Mosaic. If she could, she would have run before. Fragile, unshielded. Her voice is thin and tired.
I think I know who did it. Who shot Lely. I can tell you. I can help you.
Oh. What do you know? Who shot him?
She's silent for a second, as if looking into herself for certainty. Then, in a hushed voice, she says,
Ruby.
Why do you think it was Ruby?
She has this thing for me. Ever since I met her and the boys downstairs. She's been pretty frank about what she wants.
What she's saying is... sex?
Are you talking about sex?
And more. I made the mistake of confiding in her. I told her I was on the run. She started protecting me. It became an unhealthy relationship. When I started spending time with Lely, she told me to end it. Said there would be shit if I didn't. It was not a good meeting. We stopped talking after that, but...
I don't understand. What exactly in your relationship made you think she is romantically interested in you?
She said she's in love with me. She even asked me to run away with her when I told her I'm a fugitive. She started developing notions about our relationship.
And you led her on?
A little. I was flattered, you know? But then I had to let her off, and it was not easy. I came to regret being friendly with her. We maybe kissed, nothing more.
Sounds like she was fixated on you.
This is just an assumption.
I know what it sounds like. That's why I didn't want to tell you before. But she knew what had happened when I came downstairs. Somehow, she knew Lely was dead. She wasn't surprised at all. When we came up here, she was calm as a stone, too. She cleaned it all up like she had a plan.
This is a familiar theory. You had it too, remember? Could it be that Ruby was covering up after herself? The lynching? Yet again, you're coming up with this. The worst thing is, it may be true.
So when Ruby said that there will be shit happening if you didn't end your relationship with the deceased, you're saying that she was threatening you?
She came over one night, drunk, said she'd turn my life into a living hell. I've been threatened before, so I can tell when someone knows how to do it. And she's a pro. She must be. To keep the Hardys in line. I tried severing ties with her after that. I thought it had worked, but...
Some of that fear is still with her. She exhales sharply. What are you talking about? She's afraid you'll arrest her.
And how could Ruby have killed him?
You've been through there, right? I saw you come out. It leads downstairs.
Yeah?
She could have come to the roof through that, then made the shot right here, where I stand. It was dark outside. I wouldn't have seen her.
Then slipped back downstairs without anyone noticing. That is possible.
Interesting theory. Did she know that door exists? Had you been out there with her?
Yes, of course. She's been up here many times, jacking private stations off the ring antenna. She used to come here to drink on the roof with me, before it got weird.
Alright. That's it for Ruby.
Okay, and what? Arrest the liar now. Why? She told us some pretty interesting things there. She's stuck here. She's already in prison. Look around. She's only trying to help you.
Who?
Her. Stop letting her distract you.
Alright. I'll keep you here, miss. For now.
Thank you. Thank you. You won't regret it.
Something tells you you will.
Let's change the subject for the time being.
She slowly lights another cigarette and steadies her breath, as if in the presence of some tiger. You are. This is not the end of this.
We'll return to this later.
Wait, stop. That man, bloated beyond all recognition, was 42?
Well, it's what she said, yes.
Below the damage, the weeks of decomposition, all the swollen indignity of mortality. He was 42 years old?
Yeah, where is this going?
How old are you? That's where this is going. 45,000 liters of raw alcohol has left its disfigurements. What lies beneath, you wonder?
Well,
You could ask either one of them.
Fine. Hey, Kim. How old do you think I am?
Huh?
How old do I look?
How old? 58?
But really? That's really old.
You asked.
Well, what if you're wrong? We were both wrong about the deceased. You turned out to be 40.
42. And he was deceased. He had been decomposing for a week.
The ravages of Al-Ghul are nearly as extreme as that of death itself, Lieutenant Kitsuragi.
There's silence. Then a little more.
Sure, you're 42. Let's go?
Wait. This requires scientific measurements.
Alright, bring it on. I am not afraid of the truth.
To the laboratorium.
Alright, let's do it. Here we go. I'm gonna spend my skill point on finding out how old I am. My face looks like it's 58 and my body feels like it's 60. My mind feels like it's lived for 1 day or 100, both longer than they ought to be. The day and the century. But for how long then has this thing attached to my sentience walked the planet's crust? Time to start racking those brains of mine, Elder One. And when and where was I born? It sounds like a worthy thought to ponder. Even though it gives me no bonuses. Let's do it.